Re'Shaun, obviously, year 200 Woodley Fritz. A little bit of difference is just in terms of, obviously, offense. You guys got a new coordinator, but let's just start with you personally overall. How do you feel health-wise? How's the off-season? What did you really focus on, and what can we expect from you this season?
Yes, sir. I feel great. This is the best I've felt physically, mentally, as far as going into camp and going throughout a whole off season again. I was just working on getting bigger, stronger, and faster, obviously, trying to kind of work the fine things in my game rather than just the things that I already know. I don't need as much trouble, and I tried to really, after the season, I really tried to figure out all of my the things that I didn't do as well this season, and then try to work on that in the offseason and things of that nature, and, trying to learn the playbook inside and out so the game starts moving slower for me and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Is there a big difference in the playbook between last year and this year?
I want to say yes, it's a whole scheme, but generally, like in football, everybody kind of runs the same things. They just call it different. Like, they have different names for them and call them different, and then you run them a little bit different, like compared to other playbooks and stuff like that. So I want to say yes, it is, just because of the terminology.
Gotcha. Overall, how do you feel about, again, like I mentioned, you guys have a new offensive coordinator, you mentioned new schemes. From your perspective, how do you feel, like, what has he brought to the table so far?
He really brings the finer things out of us. He expects us to get every the little things right, which is going to help us propel in the Big 12, doing the little things, trying to do everything the best of our ability. He gets the most out of us, and we'll do the same for him. We're going to go to war for him. He's a really good coach, and I really feel like he's going to get us to the next level that we need to be at to actually compete in the Big 12.
How would you describe your running backs group this year?
We are very versatile, and we are we're very dynamic, and everybody is talented in our room. We have a very stacked and loaded room. I feel like everybody in our room could go somewhere else and probably be a starting running back. So just to have those group of guys, like working with those group of guys every day, it's really a blessing to be able to do that with those guys. They're very hardworking, and they allow each other to push each other. They allow me to push myself every day. The competitiveness is always going to bring the most out of us, and I couldn't be more appreciative for it. So I enjoy it. The room is very good, so we're going to have a really good season with this running back room.
Talking about that running back group, obviously, you face Dean. What has he brought to the table so far?
Swiss Army knife. Dean can do everything you ask him to do. He's a very stand-up guy. Yes, sir. Doesn't really talk back. Like, he's just going to get the work done, and he can do everything again, like I said. So that'll be very vital, and just having a versatile back in the backfield, another one. So he's really good.
On the topic of you facing Connor, another quarterback, what did you see from him when he brought the
He's really, really smart. He really controls the offense, and I just like how he approaches the game. Connor really takes it serious, and he's just had a really good, as working with him for the past few months, he's been really good, and he's been impressing me every day he's came in. So I'm really excited to have him and work with him this season as well.
How do you feel the offensive line is heading into camp?
We're going to be really good on that front as well. We've been harping on it since the end of the last season, and, they came to work every day as well. They understand what they have to do to be better, so we all push each other every day, especially being a running back. Like, we all have each other's back, so, us being able to come in every day and, push each other and just be the best of us and push each other to do what we need to do, they're going to be really good as well. We just got to continue to get the little things correct and just have a really good camp.
Something you said earlier, you said obviously during the offseason you went back to kind of looked at what obviously you wanted to focus on just in terms of the offense as a whole. There was a lot of games last year where you guys were maybe play here, play there, and you guys have a completely different season. For you, what have you learned from last season that you're carrying into this one in terms of either finishing or making those extra plays that came up a little short?
Yes, sir. I feel like they all tie into each other, finishing the blocks, finishing the runs, maybe even getting the 2 extra yards could be the difference in between a touchdown or even a win in the game, and just doing that consistently. Like, you can do it a few times throughout the season, but it's really not going to be worth anything if you don't come every single time and try to, just push and strain. That's another thing that we learned this offseason and coming into this season is straining to, finish consistently, to be able to push even when the times get hard. So I feel like, if we can all put it all together, then we'll definitely be good.
What is Coach Fritz been what is his message been to you guys?
Houston. It's all about Houston. You know, like we're just pouring into the culture. We're trying to build that brotherhood here, and he's done a great job bringing in a great group of players and a great group of coaches to all just. I feel like we all connect and we all really like each other. So you know, us being able to come in and share that camaraderie with each other day in and day out and come in and grind it to just be. It's just something. It's a really good sight to see. And just to build that every day with your brothers. That's just. Coach Fritz has done a great job with forming us and to be a great team and great men.
Last question for me. You mentioned in terms kind of the message from Coach, right? Houston, what's the message you have to Houston fans? What can they expect to see from you guys on the field this season?
I just want to tell them, buckle up. It's going to be a good one for sure.